Hey everybody, hello. I believe we're live on Facebook and on YouTube. So Jessica Coulter here, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. Welcome to the fourth myth all about homework this week. So guys, the previous videos are on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook business page. Catch them out. Catch them out. Wow. Watch them if you missed out. That's what I meant to say. So today we're talking about whose job it is to keep track of those due dates. So mamas, if you're watching, I want to know, does it feel like that's your job? Are you the one in charge of knowing what's due when, especially if you've got younger kids, say like upper elementary, middle school, maybe even freshmen? I want to know. And we're talking about this because it is a myth that your kids might think, because moms, it is not your job to keep track of those due dates. So we're going to talk about this over the next couple of minutes. So stay around with me as we talk about some time management strategies as to why your teens might think this. So I want you to know I have some tips and tricks available in my group. If you're not already a member of the group, join my Facebook group. So who is supposed to be keeping track of these homework assignments and how? Well, like I said, moms, it's not your job. Okay. I will tell you that some of the students I've worked with as a study coach, as a tutor, that it's always mom who brings me the list of homework assignments that are missing or that are past due. And she's printed them off from the grade book, or maybe the teachers emailed them. And mom says, here, this is what, her child hasn't done. And she's like, this is what we need to work on. And I gotta tell you, moms that are watching, if that's you, you're the one printing off things, you're the one in contact with the teacher, you are doing way more than usually. If you've got a college kid on your hands, do know your teen needs to keep track of his homework assignments. Okay, that's just all there is to it. At a certain point, moms and dads, you have got to let go. You've got to let your kids be responsible for those due dates, for keeping track of the assignments. Okay, there should be no one going out at 3 o'clock in the morning and buying poster board. There should be no one that's staying up really, really late helping a child with a homework assignment, or big paper. Nothing like that should happen. Now, I will tell you, moms and dads, kids learn from their parents. Okay, just like you learn from your parents, your kids are learning from you. So if you're constantly procrastinating, if you're constantly running behind on things, your kids probably don't know any better. So you might be dealing with that. But if you've got a kid that just doesn't seem to ever have enough time, doesn't know how to use his time, well, it could be as simple as he doesn't know how to manage his time. He doesn't have those time management skills. And that's when it becomes so important for your tweens, for your teens, for your college kids to learn how to manage their time now before things get really, really sticky as they get older and older, and before they have those jobs that aren't going to be very forgiving. It's one thing to miss out on 10, 15 points in a homework assignment, quite another thing to not show up for the final, which is half your grade, and another thing entirely for your kid not to show up for 3 days of work and automatically be fired because that's what the policy is. So what do we do about it? How do we fix it? Well, that's what I want to talk to you about in my Facebook group, and I'm going to give you a couple tips here. Before I do, though, if you're just now joining us, we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube. Make sure you're a follower, make sure you're a subscriber, and let me know what you think about kids and homework and whose job it is to keep track of assignments. So I will tell you that unfortunately in school, your kids are not being taught how to keep track of things. They might be told, here's a planner. They might be told, hey, here's your computer, your tablet, your whatever. And then it's kind of up to your teens to know how to use those, what to put where, and how to actually keep track of all of those moving pieces. I'll tell you, moms and dads, sometimes kids are going to pick up on it right away. Like some kids are just naturals because that's their personality type. Other kids are going to go, I'm just going to remember. And then you're going to have the kids that just throw stuff in their backpacks willy-nilly, and we'll look at it someday. Okay, so all of those kids and more you might have at home, and the kids I've worked with as a substitute teacher, as a tutor, and we've all seen them. They exist out there in the workforce, let alone at home, and let alone in schools. So we got to figure out what method works for what kid. And that's what I personally work with teens one-on-one, is to figure out, okay, this seems to work for you. This doesn't seem to work for you. This is what would work better for you. Or, well, let's tweak that. Okay. So I am most definitely a pen and paper person over a technology person. Most definitely. And the science supports that we remember it better if we write it down. Okay. Now, I don't want to go into too many details because this is something I cover in my coaching program, but do know that pen and paper, something like my little planner here, my little journal even, is way better than using all that technology stuff. Nothing wrong with technology, just doesn't work for me. And there's a lot of pros and cons and things that I go more into my group about. Just know that moms and dads, you gotta let your kids make some errors, let him do some trials, figure out, okay, should I write it down after every class? Should I do it on the bus ride home? How do I keep track of my homework assignments? How often should I be checking in with the teacher to see if I'm on top of things? How often should I be looking at my grades online? Do I need a folder? What do I need? And like I said, that's something I can help your teen with, working personally one-on-one, but it is also something your teen just has to start somewhere with. Because you moms and dads, you might not want to hear this, but something I've heard lots of experts say that I've interviewed in my different events is that you've got to let your kids fail. Unfortunately, moms and dads, if you care more than your kids, they're not learning as much as they could. They've got to take some ownership. They've got to, realize, oh, it impacts me if I don't do this homework. Oh, it only hurts me if I totally forget to do the studying for that test, or if I forget to turn in that big project that was homework 2 days ago. So moms and dads, do know homework assignments and due dates, they are part of growing up, and your kids just have to learn to keep track of them for themselves. And the sooner they learn how to do that, the better it is for everybody. Okay. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Again, I want you in my Facebook group if you're not already a member. It's called Teaching Teens to Love Learning. All you got to do to join us is click the link in the description, answer a couple of questions. And like I said, we will be talking more about time management, more about tools and resources, kind of the paper and print versus technology is all in my group. I have some strategies I'd love to share with you there. So have an awesome night. I will see you soon.